Alabama's news source. This is the News at 9.
10 years ago today, a powerful tornado touching down in the city of Enterprise. 9 people were killed that day, including 8 students. On March 1st of 2007, an AF4 tornado plowed through Enterprise High School, a day that forever changed that city and our state. A.J. Jackson, J.V. Bedenzik, Katie Strunk, Michael Bowden, Michelle Wilson, Mikey Thompson, and Peter Dunn, along with Ryan Moeller, were the 8 students who were killed. Edna Strickland was killed in a home off campus. Tonight, in a solemn program at the new Enterprise High School, local and school leaders honored those who perished. News at 9 reporter Brian Henry takes us to the memorial.
A few days after the storm,
remembering,
there was little doubt in my mind that God had been with us in that place at that time.
With prayer.
And Father, we come to you.
And a song. It was a full house inside the Fine Arts Building at the new Enterprise High School. All came to honor the very people who died 10 years ago today.
When I left the house that morning, like we all did, we had no clue what the day held. The air was still, the birds were not singing, all was quiet. Then shortly after 1 p.m., the unthinkable happened.
While the pain of losing so many at once may never go away, there is no question Enterprise has come a long way through healing and togetherness. In Enterprise, Brian Henry, News at 9.
Earlier today, families of the students who were killed in the tornado attended a private vigil. The families met with school staff and first responders who helped the city in its time of need. The families of those 8 students hold tight to the memories they have. Sally Pitts has more on that.
They are the Enterprise 8. A.J. Jackson, Jamie Bedenzik, Katie Strunk, Michael Bowen, Michelle Wilson, Mikey Tompkins, Peter Dunn, and Ryan Moeller.
I remember waking up March 2nd and thinking, how can I get through today? And then a week later, how did I get through that week? And a year, and then 10 years.
Donna Tompkins is Mikey's mother. Each year around the anniversary of his death, she puts flags at the memorial dedicated to Mikey and the 7 other students who died March 1st, 2007. For Donna, it's hard to believe 10 years have passed.
He'd be 27, so I know with his friends they finished college and have jobs and are getting married and children. And, so yeah, Mom's heart does break a little bit, wishing that he could go through some of that. But I know he's in a better place.
Since Mikey's death, Donna has welcomed 3 grandsons. They each know about Mikey.
And they talk about him just like he was here, like they know him. And so I think that's kind of a neat thing, too. They know we celebrate his birthday. We bake a birthday cake and sing happy birthday, Uncle Mikey. And so they still feel connected to him.
We talk about him every day.
Like Donna, Ryan Moeller's mom, Leanne, works to keep her son's memory alive.
What do you want people to remember about Ryan and the other children who lost their lives that day?
That they were all good children, that they all believed in the Lord, and they all knew that they could go home at any time, that the Lord could call them home.
When Mikey was younger in Vacation Bible School, he made a little picture we have hanging on the refrigerator. It says, God has a plan for my life. And I look at that almost every day because his plan is still going.
I'm Sally Pitts, the News at 9.
And the families of the 8 students present a scholarship each year in memory of their children. Donations can be made at any Army Aviation Center Federal Credit Union. The scholarship recipients were also recognized at tonight's service. The storm system that hit Alabama 10 years ago was a very strong one. In fact, meteorologists had been predicting a bad storm in the days preceding it. WSFA First Alert meteorologist Eric Snidel continuing our team coverage.
9 lives and 10 years later, there's one tornado Enterprise will never forget. A classic setup. Surface and upper air charts showed a strong area of low pressure into the plains with a trailing cold front. Out ahead of that front, a warm, moist, and unstable air mass was already in place across Alabama, just waiting for the front to kick things off. Everyone knew something was coming. 3 days out, the Storm Prediction Center placed Alabama in a slight risk. By day 2, it was upgraded to moderate. On March 1st, a rare high risk for nearly all of Alabama, which included an exceptional 30% hatched area for tornadoes. At roughly 1:12 p.m., Enterprise High School was hit by an EF4, the second strongest classification possible. There aren't many places above ground that can successfully withstand an EF4, particularly one estimated at 5 football fields wide with winds of 170 miles an hour. Outside of the loss of life, Enterprise suffered more than $300 million in damages. Some may remember the Enterprise tornado was not the only EF4 that day, nor was it the first. An EF4 ripped through Wilcox and Dallas counties about 45 minutes earlier, killing 1. There were 56 confirmed tornadoes across the country from this event. It's hard to find a silver lining out of what happened in Enterprise, but out of tragedy comes progress. Enterprise High School has become an example for more effective building codes for future school development. Many schools built within the last decade feature stronger tornado-safe places. Our kids today are now safer because of Enterprise.
This is also the anniversary of another deadly tornado that hit that very same day in Wilcox County. That EF4 twister struck Miller's Ferry near the county seat there in Camden. Cliff Gaston was killed when his mobile home was destroyed. Close to 40 other homes were either damaged or destroyed that day. And after the tragic Enterprise tornado, a law was created mandating more safety standards for schools in the event of severe weather. The 2010 law requires a safe room in the construction of new schools. At the brand new Pike Road School, hallways on both ends become tornado shelters when a warning goes into effect. Park Crossing High School in Montgomery was completed in 2013 and has enhanced safety features in tornado-safe rooms.
The ability to put about a 2.5-inch thick steel door over the windows and over the entrance to the hallways to provide students and staff the safest environment possible in the event of a severe weather strike against our school.
Our students don't have to come from downstairs to take shelter. Their hallways outside of their classrooms are able to be a safe area. They can come out and just line up against the wall. It's nothing that they have to crouch down or hold books over their head anymore.
Park Crossing High School will open a new freshman wing next year that also features a tornado-safe environment. Well, we've been kind of poised for some heavy weather that has been kind of marching across the state most all day. Let's find out what our current conditions are like. Here's Vernon Turner.
Hey, John. Yes, a very active day as we dealt with a line of powerful showers, thunderstorms, and a few severe thunderstorms impacting our north and central counties. We're still monitoring a line of very heavy rainfall at this hour. You can see it stretches from pretty much Lee and Russell County southwest through parts of Bullock County, Pike County. Also includes Crenshaw, Covington, Butler, Conecuh, Escambia County. Heavy rainfall soon will impact the Eufaula area. As you can see, a lot of this line is now on the Georgia side of the border, but areas like Eufaula and much of the Wiregrass still on the dry side of things. Haven't seen rainfall all day, but that will change within the next hour as this line continues to make progress towards the east. Now, the actual line itself is moving towards the southeast, but each individual cell pushing towards the east. Here's what we're looking at, though. Here's the line, very extensive, stretching from the Virginias and the Carolinas southwest through Georgia, down here into the deep south. Behind it, we'll have a thin cloud layer, and eventually we'll see clearing. So by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, lots of sunshine. Now, behind this cold front, in front of cold front, we had temperatures in the 80s. That's why we had such strong storms. But once things clear out overnight and cooler air sets in, I mean, we're going to see temperatures tonight drop down in some locations down into the 50s for our north and western areas. So you'll deal with that for your morning commute tomorrow. So much cooler conditions are on the way for Thursday and Friday. We'll talk all about it in greater detail coming up in a few short minutes, John.
All right, Vernon, thanks. The country's midsection dealing with major damage after at least 20 tornadoes ripped that part of the country yesterday, claiming 3 lives. Today, a second round of severe weather causing some damage in Nashville, ripping homes apart and causing widespread power outages. A 12-year-old boy was injured in Clarksville, Tennessee, when a tree fell on his home. And as we head to break, we're taking a look back now on the lives of those 8 students who were killed when that tornado struck Enterprise High School 10 years ago today.